Let's go, baby.
What? Nice. If you want to see the full thought process behind this trade, make sure you check this live stream. Now I'm gonna go a bit over it because somehow I don't have footage of the trade. We started on the 4-hour framing this trade and we just drove fib on the range and saw that we are in 0507 around these two FVGs. So this became my point of interest with the intention of carrying price higher towards this high. It's just simple range continuation. Then if we go lower on the 50-minute, we see we had price come down, consolidate in Asia while also taking New York low. Then on the 3-minute, what happened is we raided Asian lows early. We created a move higher and intention. One important thing happened here is that we rejected breaking lower of this demand that formed underneath Asian lows. When we reject sellers and we fail to break lower, we're most likely gonna go bullish. Inverse this bearish gap here, we inversed it and we broke above this high, and I took my entry of this 5-minute FVG. You might say, why did you take your entry of this 3-minute and not this inverse? When price does this type of pattern, it usually mitigates the POI closer to price, because we had two POIs formed here and it's obviously the best R you would have gotten here, but here is just the place where you want to be cured in the trade, because price most of the times will just mitigate this without coming here. So it was just a matter of experience why I placed my entry here and not here.
Let's go, baby.
This was a banger trade. So I just entered a trade. A bit riskier because we're not really in 0507 of the range, right? It's not a proper retracement towards the 1 hour. This 1 hour FVG in 0507, but there's a reason I'm looking for that is because of the 4-hour FVG. We already mitigated a 4-hour FVG and rejected pretty heavily off, and we also have this consolidation in this area. If you look at price, it just made me buy. My intuition said buy instantly when I saw this, because we came in this FVG, filled it, then had an intention of breaking lower, but we failed to break lower and start breaking higher, disrespecting this order block and this bearish FVG. So this looks bullish. This looks like a really valid market structure shift. We also have equal highs in Asia, and our entry was taken after sweeping all the sell side here and Asian lows. So we have a lot of liquidity. We have this to the left of us. There's a lot of orders here. There's a lot of confluences that we're gonna go higher. Very good. Oh my god, look how we rejected the break even. So this would have been your second entry, but I'm not gonna scale in because I have, or maybe I can scale another 02, let's say. So we want to see price reject this breaker. We initially take our entry now, so we kind of came deep, formed a gap and retest, and we still want to see price hold higher from here. Our second order was somewhere like a 02. We have a 1 hour FVG here, which I want to see broken. If this FVG doesn't get broken, it's very likely we're gonna go lower. This 1 hour is a pivotal price point, and if you look, we formed a 3-minute bullish gap here. Is if price holds this higher and we start breaking higher, we're most likely gonna continue in that direction. If we disrespect this FVG, it's highly likely we're gonna go lower, because we are also respecting that 1 hour. In the background, it's a 1 hour FVG. We are currently minus 2.5% on the account. So if we actually win this trade, then we're gonna be able to recover all this loss and get out to break even. But we started recovering. We had a really good win previous week, Monday, and now potentially this trade we're gonna go maybe in this area around break even. An interesting journey. It's crazy. September 18th until now, so we missed almost 5 months, really almost 5 months, not 4 or 5. Bro, what was this? Like, TP got hit. Like, what was this volatility, bro? I still have my runner though, and runner I'm gonna close here on Like, I'm still kind of in shock. Like, after being in a losing streak, seeing something like this happening is like weird to me. It's crazy because I listened to my intuition. I was completely right. I just listened to my intuition. Okay, this is bullish. Even though we didn't retrace in a 0507, I adapted and still entered the trade because we had this 4-hour AVG here. So we made 3% in 2 hours, 3 hours basically. And now we still have a trade, by the way. If our full TP gets hit, we're gonna make another 1%. We are out of break even. We are out of drawdown, boys. We were minus 4%. Now we are 0.3. I ended up closing because I saw pretty aggressive reaction, and I really think price is gonna retrace now. In the scale in, we closed at around the 4 hour. So now we are 1% on the account. So I'm waiting for an entry when we retest this consolidation to look higher. It's just a simple trend continuation. I don't know, when trends like this, when we're really strong, because we had this huge liquidity gap here, when we have a really strong bias, we can easily look to trade off one side of the market and just keep buying. We got that retracement I talked about within the range on euro, and now what I want to see is price break this FVG. We're gonna use DXY as a confluence for our entry pattern on euro. So I want to see DXY break below this 3-minute bullish gap. We can potentially look at something like this. Maybe if we look to target this side, we can have a 3 hours. It's also good that this moves looks retractive, looks like a retracement. So main bulk of our position is going to be at 2R. Trade went well for a while, slightly rejecting, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be reason of concern. We do have this bearish FVG here, which we gotta pay a bit of attention to because it also overlaps with the high. So I do want to see this get broken through. If we respect it, I might consider closing the position. So I'm waiting for the candle to close, and I'm gonna place my scale in position. 0.3 risk. We inverse this bearish FVG, and this is where our entry is. So it's a really good scaling point in my opinion. Price is running. We got missed on our area. So now I'm watching how we behave to this gap here. If we disrespect it, I'm considering closing. Otherwise, I'm gonna let it run. We're around 3%, so I'm more than down to close at this, but if price gives sign that it's gonna reach my final TP, there's no reason for me to close early. I could have taken some partials, I considered it, but again, no signs from price, just slowly coming lower. We did come underneath here, but no real signs from price. Talk about this trade, how I managed it and what I learned, because obviously I made some mistakes today, and we're gonna look at them and see how we can solve them. Basically, our entry still ended up holding, bro. I managed to close my position around here, I'm pretty sure, because I saw price fail the swing on this 50-minute inverse, and I knew price has a high chance of going lower, so I ended up closing my position at 0.5. Issue is I was in 3% profit, almost 3% profit, and I didn't close the trade. I had this level marked to our break-even in partials. This is usually a negotiable choice, which means negotiable is based on price action. We manage the trade. If we see something bad, we're gonna take partials and go break-even. In this case, I didn't really see anything. I wanted to see 3R. What I should have done is to take a partial here. Then when price came and respected this 50-minute inverse we had here, I should have closed the rest. Or another case, let's say we wouldn't have closed fully here, we would have just went break even and let the runner go towards final, which is here. But I kind of personally expected a break even like this and still hold higher, but to be honest, I didn't want to really have break even open or even put my stop loss here. It's not worth the risk. I wanted to secure at least a 0.5, so at least reward my time in some way possible. I consider about entering here, but I didn't want to force a trade anymore, right? You know, I'm just accepting that I did something wrong, and now I'm just letting price do its thing. It's a matter kind of experience, bro. It's my trade management that I needed to refine. 2 to 3 hours, and I know I can pull consistently, so I need to always take some part out, and then also make sure I benefit of those bigger moves by having final TPs and runners, and also scalings. Because imagine if I would have scaled in here, now I would have read price go and make me another 1%. That's my strategy with the scalings. So when you're scaling with 0.03%. My main was 1% here. This partial system wasn't really needed on gold when price like just fucking destroyed the TP. Bro, what was that, bro? Okay, nah, this trade would have been clean. And bro, what? Nah, like look at the century, bro. It's like unreal. Like 1 retest, 2 retests, 3 retests, and it would have hit take profit. Like, what is this? Morning everyone, I hope you're doing fine. Today we have an interesting day. I'm not necessarily expecting to trade, but I can say at least we have interesting day. So DXY was watching how we behave to this inverse because it's really pivotal. If we manage to hold this inverse like we're doing now, we're probably gonna go lower towards either this low or this low, and that means we're not gonna reach this. If we would have gapped above again, we would probably reach for this drone liquidity, this FVG. And euro looks pretty weak. I don't really see a way of euro going lower though. If I would take an entry here, I would take it on this and target the lows, but for me, taking a short here is pretty risky, you know. I mean, we just rated a high, we took 4, but do I want to look for sells? I feel like still should I trust my intuition? I don't understand if it's my intuition or is it my wanting to be in a trade. On the 50-minute, we do have an inversion. We did break, respect that. We have this, so it does look good. I think I'm gonna place an entry here, bro, around this or the block. I kind of need to trust my intuition. I feel like with this one, we failed to break higher here, and now we're breaking this low. That's why I'm hesitating, because I don't know about DXY being bullish though, because I don't want to go against my bias, but now it kind of makes sense, you know, by how we flipped. We might go for this high and then go lower. This FVG just catches my eye instantly. It just looks too good. But we retested that apparently. If you hold it, we're gonna chill. So we're basically scaling in another 0.5% because I was initially going lower risk. So now that we got a bit more confirmation, I'm down to scaling. Omelette looking buzzing. This omelette looking buzzing. Sheesh. I wanted to see how this 1 minute FVG gets respected because we just broke underneath Asian lows, and this FVG should hold if we want to see lower prices towards our final take profit. So we're pretty close to it. We should reach it soon. We're floating around 2% in total profit with the partials we have. Life is good, bro. I just ate like the best fucking omelette possible. We are in a sniper entry trade. I just said, okay, this entry looks like a sniper entry, I'm just gonna take it, and this fucking happened. Okay, all right, TP1 hit. Nice, bro. Now we're going break even on the rest of the positions. We officially secured 1.5%. Now we're risk free towards final TP. I don't know if I want to be exposed to news, but I'm going to be careful about it. I don't want to say no as well. If we have a low risk position towards news, that's fine. Like if I would leave this one lot position open through news, that's fine, to be honest. I don't really care. My first time trading NFP, I guess. 10 seconds. Oh. Bro, what was that? I only lost like a 0.5%, to be honest. I'm not mad at all. That's crazy, bro. I was minus 2% running, but I got close at a 0.5. Thank fucking god. At least we got the bias right, you know what I mean? At least we were on the right track. We just got manipulated, but we had the idea correct. Oh look, we would have got TP2 hit. Turn on the bit. the journal this trade, and I want to go over the mistakes I made. In my opinion, my performance was 8.5. The only issue I had with this trade is trade management. Yeah, we went over it. It was initially kind of a rough decision, right? Because we had two models that are very similar. We have the one we look for a initiation out of Asia range, we wait for a retracement, then we look for price higher. I was initially looking for this because bias was bullish in my eyes, so I had this structure in mind. Like, we formed a higher low here and we're gonna go higher. When we reach this range high and tap this 50-minute FVG here, what happens is that we reject instantly off it, then we rebalance an FVG, then we try to go higher but fail to break. This failure here signaled a lot. This is where my intuition basically kicked in. We're going lower. Why are we going lower? Because of this candle here, this huge bullish candle. So that kind of indicated the fact that we're gonna go lower, in my opinion, at least until Asian low. My final target got reached as well, so it's interesting, right? As for my entry, bro, I just saw this 5-minute FVG here. It just looked, it was the single FVG within this price leg. If you look at it, we had one here, but it's kind of relevant. This looked just like a sniper entry. I said to my friend, bro, I don't know, my bias was bullish, but my intuition really likes this trade. This looks like a sniper entry, and I entered on that, no hesitation, targeting the lows, and we got fucking perfectly hit with this week. This was an insane trade. So how can I improve? Have a kind of news boundary, not more than 0.1 open during CPI and NFP. FOMC usually doesn't manipulate this bet, but CPI and NFP do. So having 0.1 risk is actually pretty decent, because if you get a 10 hour of news, you're gonna make like 1%. So this is kind of a fine risk for me at the moment, because I don't have that much experience with news. So now I have a new rule. I was over risked. I had too much exposure on a trade. I usually just avoided news, didn't study them, just completely avoided them. That's why I kind of traded London for a lot of years. I'm getting into studying news as well, so it was kind of, I wanted to have the experience, you know, but I risked a bit too much. I should have closed one partial on my TP1 and then let the other one run. Even with the full TP, doesn't really matter. Even with those mistakes that I did this week, I made a 5.75 gain. That, in terms of this account, is around 2.7k. Those money coming out in 1 week is gonna be kind of life-changing. We're gonna see what next week's gonna offer. I'm curious if we'll keep going. It was just a good market period, so yeah. So stay hard, stay motivated, and never stop growing.